welcome to Domaine Christian Moreau Père et Fils. The old man is speaking behind the camera, and you have the son in a cellar.
Yeah,
Right now, I'm at the top of the hill of Les Clos, and you can see over there, of course, the village of Chablis, the Golden Gate of Burgundy, and there I'm standing in Les Clos, one of the 7 Grand Cru. I mean, there is one Grand Cru with 7 climate names, and this is Les Clos. And the domain is very happy to have a parcel of nearly 3 hectares from where I am, right down to the road to the right. So, on the other side, it's a left bank. That's where you have Premier Cru Vaillon, Séché, Montmain, etc., etc. On this side, way out, you have Côte de l'Éché, behind the village of Milly. And all the vine that you can see way out, it's Chablis village. Okay. Because in Chablis itself, you have the Grand Cru and the majority of the Premier Cru, but the majority of the Chablis ici, Chablis village, is made in the 18 villages surrounding Chablis. Voilà. So I'm standing in Les Clos, and you can see here I'm showing you some grape. I mean, the flowering season, the flowering just started about 8 days ago, and now it's over. So you can see beautiful grapes, and we can expect our harvest this year, the last few days of August, beginning of September. But of course, you know, it's depending on the weather in July and August. Okay.
And so this year, so far, you have been okay, it sounds, so far this year.
Yeah, we didn't have any frost. We went out a couple 3 nights, but it was very, very dry, no humidity. So we didn't light up our candle and the protection. Okay. So the vine you can see are in super sanitary condition. And all the vine that you can see here, all the domain is organic. My son Fabien, my boss, decided to move organic a few years back, and we have the official certification since the 2013 vintage.
Yeah. It started in 2010, so with the conversion, the first vintage with all the certification was 2013.
Fantastic. And do you mind showing us the soils a bit closer as well, Christian? Do you mind showing us the
it's humid here, you can see. It's made of limestone. The small oyster shell, it's humid, but if it's dry, it's easy to find some. And you can, because, the ocean used to cover Chablis, I mean, all this part of the country, few million years ago. And you have the same soil in the south of England, I think, also.
Yeah.
But you don't have the same wine, of course.
Each place is unique to itself. Yeah, we're definitely not Chablis. I wish I was with you in Chablis right now. And can you explain the differences between your different Grand Crus?
Well, Fabien, you go.
Yeah, I could explain. So, just in general, the domain Christian Moreau Père et Fils, we own around 12 hectares, and we are quite lucky to have around 5 hectares of Grand Cru with 5 different cuvées of Grand Cru. In Chablis, there is 7 Grand Cru for 100 hectares, and so we have 5 different cuvées. My father, you see, is on the top of Les Clos. We have 2 cuvées of Les Clos. This one where my father is come from a big plot of 3 hectares for a classic cuvée of Les Clos. And you see a tree on the bottom part, which is and a small house also. And that's her second cuvée of Les Clos, which is Clos des Hospices, Grand Cru Les Clos. Clos des Hospices, which is a specific plot we own since 1904. It's what's the difference between Les Clos and Clos des Hospices? Same appellation, Les Clos, but Clos des Hospices, we bought this plot in 1904 to the Hospice of Chablis. There is no relationship between Hospice de Beaune and Hospice de Chablis. Our family bought this parcel in 1904, and since 1904, our family produce a separate wine to the rest of the holding. So the other difference, it's Clos des Hospices, it's on the bottom part with deeper soils, with more clay. So that's why often the Clos des Hospices is a little bit more open, more approachable when it's young. So les Clos des Hospices, after we own a very small plots of Blanchot, 0.1 hectare, so it means 1 barrel, 2 barrels and a half maximum. We own also some Vaudésir, half an hectare, and 1 hectare of Valmure. After, if you look really the different, it's my father.
Sorry, yeah, we just changed that. we're trying to sort our tech savviness.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, but I lost the photo. I cannot. So I'm coming back. I'm coming back to the domain, to the cellar. Okay.
Oh, fantastic!
Okay. See you soon, Christian.
À tout de suite.
Yeah, so just to finish about the different Grand Cru, after les Clos, so it's really facing south. Valmure, it's really a Grand Cru with southeast exposition, as Vaudésir, Valmure, same exposition, southeast. But after it's different soil. Valmure, it's really much more on the clay side of our terroir, it's much more on the limestone side of the terroir. So Valmure, it's a bit more full body wine. Vaudésir, it's more delicate, more fruity wine. And after Blanchot, it really looks the southeast exposition, southeast was the sunrise, so a little bit cooler climate. And the soil after the Blanchot, blanche in French means white. So blanche, it means the soil is, there is some clay, but a kind of white blue clay who give really reductive flavor when it's young Blanchot. So it's really different style. It's rich, but very tight when it's young Blanchot.
Okay. And you've already got a question here, Fabien. And just to say to everyone that any questions at all, I think you need to put your seatbelt on, Christian.
What, you see me?
No,
Yeah, but I cannot see you. How come you see me?
We can't see you either.
But
Okay,
so what did you see here?
we can hear you, but we can't see you. We'll ask you to start your video. Is it asking you? Ah, voilà.
There we go.
Super. Et on
It's
voit
okay.
le film. Can you
I
tell
hope
us
you
where you are?
You won't have an accident, but direct
There's
accident.
no wine in the car.
But you could see that the other thing is the winery is just 200 meters from the Grand Cru, so it's very useful.
So you have a long commute.
Yeah.
Immute is done. So yeah, but the Grand Cru, but you know, in Chablis, the Grand Cru, the total Grand Cru in size, it's 100 hectares, so it's very small volume for all the Chablis area. 100 hectares, as I often say, that's the size of Château Latour in Bordeaux. So, but with 30 different growers, so it's very small plots, very spread. But we are lucky, we have 5 hectares, so that's our main production.
Fantastic. And the first question you've got here as well, Fabien, they've just been asking, as Christian touched upon briefly as well, just about the measures that you use to protect against frost when there is danger.
For us, there is three ways how to protect the frost. You could use a candle. You could use aspersion water, and after you could use kind of wire who eat a little bit the vines. For us, we are too far away from the river, so we will use mostly a candle. So it means we have 500 candle per hectare. So we protect at the domain roughly 4 hectares and a half. So it's a lot of work. Ouais, donc c'est bon. Non, c'est bon, et vous savez, non, on t'a suivi en direct. Hein.
Bonjour, Christian.
Yeah, so about the frost protection. Yes, we use at the domain mostly only the candle. After you could, when vineyards are very close to the river, the Serein, they could spray water. So it works like an igloo, so it means they spray water before the frost. The ice covers the buds, and inside it stays at 0 degrees, and you have to spray all the night and often all the morning to avoid the frost.
Yes.
So,
Santé, Christian.
just, yeah.
Santé, Fabien.
And just, no, yeah, just the first people figure with global warming, we have less problem of frost. But the problem, the global warming exists. That some people in US don't say no global warming, but there is. But the problem is we have the early frost. The bud break now it's mostly the first week of April. And we still have frost in April. Compared to 20 years ago, the bud break was mostly at the end of April. So when you had frost in early April, it was not a problem at this time because the buds were not out. So now the bud break are much more early than before. So we don't have frost as before early May. No, in May now it's almost finished. But now it's still middle of April, so we still have lots of problems. And to give you an example, also
hail as well. Hail is also more of a problem nowadays.
Yeah, the hail, and also to finish with the frost, people in south of Burgundy are laughing for 100 years about Chablis that we had protection in the vineyard because in Beaune they never had problem. But now with bud break, it's much more early than before. Now they have to protect their own vineyard, and now they don't laugh anymore with the frost. That's Chablis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
And after, so frost, maybe we still have a lot of frost. In 17, it damaged, we lose 80% of the Grand Cru in 17. All the Grand Cru were completely devastated. For us at the domain, in 17, we produce between 8 to 11 hectoliters hectare. Normal in 18, for example, it was 60 hectoliters hectare.
Right.
Disaster.
Because 18 was a fantastic vintage for quantity, I had it. So
yeah, fantastic because finally we made some wine. Well, yes.
We're very happy about that as well.
Yeah.
So you're happy because you have some wine to sell, which is good.
Merci.
Et à boire aussi, de temps en temps à boire aussi.
Sorry, I'm having les Clos 60, you see.
Hard life.
It was open, that's why.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because to give you an idea, compare the volume, the total of 15, 16, 17 was 18 in volume. So in 1 year, we made what we produced in 3 years in a row for the Grand Cru. So no, it was looking for, on the financial part, for everything, it was good. And we, in the past, so the domain we start with my father in 2002 again, with the domain Christian Moreau, we start in 1814 for the family, but the domain in 2002. And we made the same volume in 2004 and 11, that's it. So 3 years. But 2004, we had lots of disease, oidium. 11, it was not so wide, we have to chaptalize, but 18, everything. So natural degree was between 13 to 14, even sometimes too high. So it was perfect vintage because no disease problem. We spray 6 times, so nothing. Early harvest, so it means we didn't have any rot. So no, it was perfect condition. And so far, 20 looks like that. So.
Okay. And how's the 2019 vintage?
19, the season was easy also.
Oh, sorry, it's 20. I'm losing my head. Sorry, I was saying so far.
We want 20 to finish.
I'm losing my head.
Already,
We're in 20 now, aren't we? 20.
No.
Sorry.
No, 19. Finally, we compared to 18, we produced minus 20, 25%, but it's better. It's still better than 15, 16, 17. The main difference was quite similar to 18, quite rich vintage, but the difference is in 18 we had lots of rain during the winter, lots of rain. December, January was just rain, and it gave to the vines the reserve, hydric reserve, to support the very warm summer. And in 19, we had the same summer, but with much less water during the winter, so the vines suffer much more of the hydric stress in 19. That's why the yield was down. But finally, we just finished the blend between barrel and tank so far. We're going to bottle a small amount of Chablis in July. So the wine has maybe a higher acidity, but quite rich also. It's very appealing wine also, like as 18.
Okay. And you've got a question here just from Law Patry, who's just asking why you don't use the organic logo on the label.
Because for the AC Chablis, is coming from grapes we're buying. That's, just to finish, the domain is 12 hectares. I said 5 hectares of Grand Cru, 5 hectares of Vaillon, and we just own 1 hectare, 0.2 of Chablis Village and 0.7 of Petit Chablis. So to be able to supply Chablis Village, because we're still exporting 90%, and our importer need entry level. They need some Chablis Village. Just without Chablis Village, it's tough. So we have to buy some grapes, which sadly are not organic. Year after year, we are finding some grapes, organic grapes, but the problem, Chablis is not really in advance on organic farm. So people who are organic don't sell the grapes. So so far, since 2002, we're buying some grapes around 4 or 5 hectares maximum. We don't volume, just to give the opportunity of an importer to have some Chablis Village. But that's why we bring the trailer and we do the same vinification. It means after the vinification, it's same as the domain. So sorting table, natural yeast, no fining, no hard filtration. So just small adding of sulfur, small amount of sulfur.
Great. And what do you ferment in, Fabien? If you could just explain a little bit more about the winemaking.
Winemaking. So the domain, everything is handpicked. We have the sorting table. We do slow pressing, and after we do natural fermentation. So for the wine, for example, the Chablis Village 2018, the fermentation starts naturally in tank, and it stays in tank. Keeps small lees, not big amount of lees, just enough. And it's the alcoholic fermentation, malolactic fermentation, and like that. After all the Premier Cru and Grand Crus, there is a proportion fermented in barrel. For example, the Vaillon 18, we did 40% in barrel. It means the fermentation starts naturally in tank, and when it starts, we put 40% in barrel, do the alcoholic fermentation, malolactic fermentation, and I do the blend. Actually, I just did the blend of the Vaillon last week, so 8 months. I've got a second camera.
Someday.
Christian.
My webmaster.
Oh yeah, that's your marketing manager.
So we're using oak for the Premier Cru and Grand Cru. It was an old debate in Chablis, the use of oak or not for Chablis wine against the minerality and the freshness of Chablis wine. But when you have a good concentration of the grapes, especially for the Premier Cru and Grand Cru, the wine could support oak aging. When I have always few barrels of Chablis Village, but after 8 months, the oak overpowers the wine, so you smell more. You lose something. But for Premier Cru and Grand Cru, with a small percentage of new oak, it's not really a big problem. Really, it brings texture, it brings tannin to the wine, which is what we look for with the use of oak. It's not really adding oak flavor, it's more the tannin. We don't talk too much about tannin for the white, but it's interesting. It's like a guide for the acidity of wines.
Okay. And another question here. They're asking how you feel about natural yeast and what that brings to the wines, and whether you ever inoculate.
We stop. So organic farming started at the domain in 2005, and all the domain in 2008. And I stopped using commercial yeast in 2008, in fact. And what's happened? It means the fermentation start later. Of course, in the tank it takes 7-8 days to start the natural fermentation, and so it takes more time. So most of the time, the fermentation, alcoholic fermentation, when you add yeast, in 1 week it's done. 1 week. You add the yeast the day after, maybe after 24 hours, 30 hours it starts. 1 week after it's done, you could rack, and you could do malolactic fermentation straight away, and in November the wine is done. But for us, with alcoholic fermentation, natural alcoholic fermentation, and natural malolactic fermentation, it could finish in February or even in March. So,
right.
But most of the time, alcoholic fermentation is done for Christmas, and malolactic fermentation when it wants. So, but the thing is, we don't bottle the wine in January, so it's not a problem. So we have time. So, but so far so good. We don't have much problem since 2008. So no, it brings, I think, more complexity to the wine. Slow alcoholic fermentation mostly, and I think it brings complexity to the wine. Because why it's slow, wild fermentation, you have a population of yeast who start the fermentation, after you have another one who do middle fermentation, and you have different yeast doing all the fermentation. So each yeast brings flavor and things to the wine. So I think that's all the different population who brings the complexity.
Fantastic. And you have that natural kind of yeast on the grapes, of course, from your organic viticulture. So you have increased populations, right?
Sorry? Sorry.
You have like an increased population of yeast from your organic viticulture, right?
To be honest, it's you could have, it's more, I'm very honest about that. You could figure, oh, that's yeast of Les Clos, we made the Les Clos wine, or Valmur, but all the big studies on that, it's not really the true, because the yeast, it's really present in the cellar. Sure, the yeast coming from the vineyard stay in the cellar even during the winter, and it's a population of the yeast who is very complex in the cellar, who help for the fermentation. So yes, it's nice on the paper to say that's a yeast of Les Clos, but to be honest, that's why most of the time that's the last trailer we bring at the end of the fermentation who start first.
Yeah.
That's really a sign that all the gear, all the trailer had a population of yeast who stay, because we don't use product to disinfect the disinfection of the trailer every night. So it's day after day, it brings complexity of the yeast, and after it starts like that. So sure, there is some population coming from the vineyard, sure, but it's more complex, I think.
And you have a question about sulfur and your thoughts on sulfur, and similarly copper in the vineyards, just to understand your thoughts on that.
Yeah, but so organic farming means mostly, so we're organic, we're not biodynamic. We're still using some plants decoction and things, but the certification is really based on organic farming. So mostly we use sulfur and copper. So sulfur, it's oidium, which is not a big problem because sulfur don't stay in the soil. It's really used by the bacteria and everything, by the plants. The copper, sure, it's a bit bigger problem because it could stay in the soil. Even the copper is used by the microorganisms, by the biology of the soil, but it could stay more. But that's why you use some plants decoction to go down of the copper level. But to give you an idea of what you use of copper, last year we used 1.1 kilo per hectare of copper. My grandfather, because before all the fertilizer and chemicals, even my father, in one treatment they use 6 to 8 kilo per treatment. Now we're using it 1 to 3 kilo per year. So it's completely different because the gear for the spray is much better. We don't spray the copper on the soil, but on the grapes now with the pneumatic and with the way we control that, it's much better than before. So in the vineyard and after in the cellar, we're still using sulfur. We're not doing natural wine. It's Chablis wine. The problem is we want that a Premier Cru and a Grand Cru could be drink in after 2, 3, 5 years. And when you're not using sulfur, it's almost impossible. Even people who are doing natural wine, they don't say, oh, keep the wine 10 years. So we are really in a classic appellation, Chablis, Premier Cru, Grand Cru. And so we're using a small amount, but less and less, to be honest.
Yeah.
First, the certification, it's an obligation to decrease the level of SO2 total and free SO2. And now, total SO2, we're always under 100 milligrams, so it's not a big lot. So it's
normally possible to have a stable wine long term.
Yeah, and mostly we add sulfur at the bottling. We want to be at between 20 and 25 free SO2. It means after 1 month we are 20, and that gives protection for the vine for the first 5 years after there is evolution.
Okay, and we have a question from Ricardo. I think it's Ricardo from Hakkasan, I'm not sure, but do you think the natural yeast will change slightly the style year on year?
I think after you have not the same yeast who starts the fermentation. Sure, it could change, but when the wine during the fermentation, so alcoholic degree increase, you start from 0, just sugar, will transform in alcohol, and when you reach the level of finally we reach 12, 13 degrees, but when you arrive 6, 7, 8 degrees alcoholic level, 6 degrees. You have always the same population of yeast to finish the fermentation. It's kind of a cerevisier, but it's maybe technical. But so the end of the fermentation, for me, I think it's the same. Always a population have to finish, so you will bring the same character every year. But maybe the first part of the fermentation could change every year.
Sure. And a question for the photographer behind you. Just a little question on how ahead of you starting ahead of the domain beginning. Could you just tell us about what you were doing? Because you were out in Fabien. My understanding was that you thought to go into wine. You were passionate to go into wine always. Christian, in the past, you moved to Canada for several years. Can you tell us about what you were doing before?
You want my story about that? Well,
I do.
It's a long story, you see, because when I was a kid, well, yesterday, let's say, when I was 17, I was a special kid, but a good kid. I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't drug, but I didn't want to do nothing. So my father one day said, "Geez, we have a problem." I said, "Which one?" He said, "You cannot stay doing nothing." So I had a cousin, George Moreau, who was actually logging in Canada, in Alberta, close to the British Columbia border. So he called him and he said, "Can you take my son? You don't want to do anything and look after him." And so my father came back. I said, "Okay, I offer you a one-way ticket to Canada and you pay for the return." So I left when I was 17, and my first job when I arrived in that logging camp in the middle of nowhere, where you had about 70 big loggers from Yugoslavia, Russia, top people. And my first job was to look after 80 horses, feed the horse and all that bullshit. And I did that. And after that, I was bûcheron, logging for about 8 months. And following that, I said, I saw those big truck logging. I saw those big trucks, you see, logging. So I started driving those big Kenworth, with about 80 tons in the back and all that. So I bought one also for myself, but I never asked anything to my father. No, he said, when you pay for your return, actually, I met my wife, Christine. You know, she's from Quebec, and she was working as a student in Jasper with her sister. My cousin actually married Mary, and myself, I married the other. But she didn't want to go out with me at the beginning because the French in Quebec, you know, when they arrive, they really, you know, hey, you have an accent, I mean, boo, 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 all that bullshit. So she didn't want to go out with a Frenchman. But at the end, I convinced her to, and we've been now married for 53 years.
Oh.
And two of my boys were born in Canada, Philippe and Patrick. The last one, well, he was born in Tonnerre, so I mean, but you know, that's funny, I have 7 grandchildren and they all have Canadian citizenship. So I'm the only stranger in the family. But I think it was a good idea. So I came back in 1972 and I started working in a vineyard for 5 years, you know, listening to the boss. It was a guy who actually retired and passed away a few years ago. He worked for my father for what, 35 years as the boss in a vineyard. So I learned how to work in a vineyard for 5 years. After that, I spent 5-6 years in the cellar with my cousin and my father, trying to learn how to make a wine. And after that, well, I started to give order. You know, there's one thing, if you want to give an order to a person, you must be able to tell him, move out, I will show you what to do. And that's what I did. And after that, well, it was my cousin, Jean-Jacques, and my father, they owned Moreau, the negotiation house. And after that, they decided to, 1974, to have a joint venture with Aram Walker, a Canadian company, in Toronto. And so we made a joint venture, I mean, in the Negos side, 50%, and Aram Walker took 50% in the Negos. And we had a contract, the family, myself, Jean-Jacques Moreau, we had a contract for 10 years to sell our grape to Moreau. But in that contract, it was very good, a good idea. It was mentioned that after 10 years and a 5 years advance notice, the family could regain control of their vineyard. So my cousin Jean-Jacques retired. We sold our 50% share to, at that time it was not Aram Walker, it was Allied Lions, a British company, okay, who bought Aram Walker. And in 1985, my cousin retired. I stayed with the group. And in 1995, we decided with my cousin Jean-Jacques Moreau to break the contract with the 5 years advance notice to regain control of our vineyard in 2002, the first vintage. And by that time, Moreau was bought by Boisset. But I mean, they did not figure he had the domain, but he bought the company, and 2 weeks later, he got the letter that we regained control of the vineyard. He was not happy, but that's life. And I couldn't care less. I didn't give a shit. It was the truth. And Fabien, my cousin, his son Louis came back, so he took over Jean-Jacques' property, and everything was set up. That Fabien, after a degree in biology, a degree in viticulture, a degree in oenologue, a master in Bordeaux. You see, I quit school when I was 17, he quit when he was 28. Different story. And after that, he spent 1 year in New Zealand, and he came back in 2001. And that's when Domaine Christian Moreau started.
And you worked for some pretty amazing domains as well, didn't you, Fabien?
Yeah, but
didn't you work for Domaine de Chevalier and La Roche as well?
yeah, but during the studies.
Sorry, say that again?
During the viticulture license, actually it's funny because I did my training in Bordeaux. So it was at Mineral Bordeaux, so at Léoville-Lascaz. So it was quite a nice place. And after, for the oenologist degree, I started in La Roche. My first big harvest was in La Roche, at the time of Michel La Roche, the real one. And after, yeah, for the second year, I was at Bouchard-Péré-Fils. So Bouchard-Péré-Fils at this time just bought William Fay, so I spent 6 months Bouchard and after William Fay for harvest. So second experience in Chablis, which was interesting. When I finished my studies in 2000, so I spent 6 more months at Domaine de Chevalier, Pessac-Lognan, because my master was in Bordeaux, so another experience in red. But Domaine de Chevalier, you know, they make great white wine, probably the top white wine in Bordeaux. So it was also another experience in white. And I finished my studies in 2000, 1 year before we were getting the control of everything. So I said it was a time to see other things than Chablis, and I spent 1 year in New Zealand. So working 7 months in Hawke's Bay, Natarawa winery. So it was another experience, New Zealand experience, and just a way to increase a little bit my level of English.
Which is perfect.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Not all the time. Yeah.
And what else did you learn from your studies in New Zealand as well, from your experience?
How to do barbecue and drinking beer. Very
Important things.
Good life.
No, yeah, but it was funny because in New Zealand, I was welcomed at Alwyn Corban. He was the 4th generation of winemaker in New Zealand. 4th generation in New Zealand. It was probably the first family to grow vineyards, because in New Zealand there is lots of big group who own domain, and so it was very fabulous family, very warmful, and so I learned. So it was mostly red or Sauvignon Blanc. So maybe not really the Chablis style, but it was an interesting view. Also on the commercial part, because they make wine not really of the location of the grapes, but it was a level of price. They made 4 range of wine, 4 label, 4 range of price, and it was interesting the way how they manage those 4 range of wine. Every week they do big tasting to compare their wine to other winery, so they were very open. So it was very interesting. Lots of interesting discussion.
Fantastic. And you've got a question here from Attila. Well, firstly, you've got Attila telling you what he's drinking, which sounds, I'm quite envious.
17, yes, good.
But so Attila's drinking Le Clos 17, and he says it's drinking superbly right now. Yum. And to quote him. And so then he also asks, what is the current average vine age at Grand Cru level? And is the target to keep older vines or grub up parts of, or grub up parts of the vineyard to maintain freshness from young vines as part of a style of wine? So there's freshness over concentration. What are your thoughts on that?
But at the domain, we have mostly sure old vines. For example, Les Clos, where my father was half an hour ago, average of the vine is 56. The oldest is 65, youngest 35, Clos des Hospices is 38, Vaillon average is 50, our cuvée Guy Moreau, our special cuvée of Vaillon, it's 88 years old vine, so we have mostly old vines. So sure, now we have the stage, we have to think about replacing those vines, because certain are getting very old. So sure, we need to replace, because sure, when it's very young with lots of virus, we just make small berries and sometimes very concentrated, sometimes too much. But we replace every year the vines who get dead, or we put away with the plowing. So sure, when I say average of the vine is 55 years old vines, there is about 3–5% of young vines inside. So there is a touch of replacement year after year, who bring a bit more texture. But sure, to be honest, I prefer to have old vines than just to have vines after 10 or 9. Yeah. But we have to think to replace in the future some Les Clos, especially Les Clos and in Vaillon, where vine is getting tired. So we have to think about the future, not just myself. Sure.
Sure. And in Chablis, what's the main thing which might make a vine less productive or might end up sort of killing a vine? Could you just explain that as well?
Yeah, but the thing, we have lots of different, all the vine, it's like the person. Aging is very different depending on the person. And for the vine, it's the same because our oldest vine in Vaillon, 82 years old vine, it's in perfect condition. It's incredible. Completely green. We're still making wine. It means because we could keep old vine, but when you produce 10 hectoliters every year, it's not very interesting. You have sometimes to concentrate, but this vine is perfect condition. On the other part, we have, for example, a Vaudésir, 15 years old vine. It looks like old ladies, let's say that way. Lots of virus. So the wood stock, maybe the young wood stock or the material we use are different compared to what we had during 1938, 1932.
Was my fault.
Are you filming us filming you?
No, it was my fault, really, because it was an old vine. And I didn't start.
Say that again? I think it's just covered the mic, maybe.
No, it's my fault, about Vaudésir, which is a young vine, which will have to be replaced very shortly, because during the 5-year lapse time that we had to stay with the Boisset group, I decided to replace the vine, and I replanted 1 year after, which is completely stupid and crazy. I should have waited 2 or 3 years, to have oat or something else.
But Vaudésir before the replacement was very old vine with lots of cornoué, and it's a virus who stay in the soil. So that's why when you replace it, you have to wait the perfect timing. It's 5-6 years. Yeah. But this time, my father and his cousin replaced it 6 months after it was already replanted. So after 5 years, the vines were already yellow and very like a small bonsai. So we are all ready to think about to replace a part of Vaudésir now. And so after it's a mix. You have to choose the decision to put it away. Sure, old vine makes small berries, very concentrate. Mm-hmm. But at a certain point, we are on Chardonnay grapes. We're not making red wine like Pinot or Pinot over 50 hectoliters. You have less color, less structure, less tannin. Yeah. The Chardonnay at 50, 60 hectoliters, you could make great wine. And 18, you would see it's 60, 65 hectoliters and perfect. Over 70, it's starting to go down, but you could make great. And the Chardonnay, when it's 10, 15 hectoliters, sometimes it's too rich.
Sure. And just to let Christian know and everyone else, just so you know, we will be sharing the videos afterwards online, so you will get a copy of it as well as your own version.
So someone should be filming Christian as well.
The second view, 2 viewers.
I have some American friends.
And also, could you just explain for everyone just the flavor profile of your wines and what makes your wine essentially compared to other Chablis, compared to just wine in general? Just to explain about that.
Yeah, I don't like to say we have really a style of Christian Moreau. I prefer that people say, oh, it looks like really like a Chablis, like a Clos, like a Vaillon, a Vaudésir, a Valmer. Because we want the goal, the winemaking process, it's really to put front the quality of each vineyard. That the Valmer have to seem a Valmer every year after year. Sure, when you test all our range in Moreau, like when you come at the domain, you test our 9 wine in Moreau. In vintage, you have a line of the style of the domain. Sure, I think it's quite purity, but quite appealing wine. It's not completely close because people sometimes for Chablis, it's like very dry, very acidic wine. For us, I'm not a fanatic of that, and with organic farming, it brings more something alive about our wine. I think something more bright, more gourmand, also when it's young, but also good for long keeping. Also, so that's after. I don't know if it's really a style, but after you say pick one wine from all wine we're producing. Yes, I will choose probably. What is really the example of a Grand Cru in Chablis, I will choose the Clos, which is maybe not so easy to understand when it's young, because sometimes when you pour a glass, you need a hair, you need aeration, you need time. Les Clos need more time, but it's really a good example of what is a Grand Cru in Chablis. And after, for our wine, I think Valmure, it's very interesting because it changed a lot since 2002. It changed a lot because Valmure with the clay, it's very rich sometimes. And at the beginning, for example, in 05, 06, Valmure was probably too heavy, even for me, for my taste. And when we move to organic farming, we have the pH, the acidity is going up, pH going down, and acidity is going up. So it brings more minerality for the wine. And now, since 2010, 11, Valmure, I think, is getting much more interesting now. It's still massive wine, but with more tension. So I think Les Clos for what is the Grand Cru to show, and Valmure to see the evolution of the wine of the domain.
And why did the pH level go down and the acidity go up when you switched to organic?
To be honest, it's a constatation that people who are organic or biodynamic see their acidity is going up. I think maybe it helps the roots to have more development on the roots. The roots stock and the roots go deeper. Deeper, I'm not sure, but when you see the roots for wine, for vines who are coming from organics, there is the major roots, and after lots of small one, and it's much more developed for organic vines than the more classic farming. So maybe it's a reason also.
Yeah.
Right.
And we've got time for just a couple more questions here for you. I'm loving this one. I'm going to add another one to it as well, actually. So there's the question of, if you weren't drinking your own wines, what would you be drinking? And also, I'm just going to add in there, what is the best wine from your domain that you've drunk as well? Or what is the most memorable moment of drinking one of your wines? So one of yours and one from someone else.
Yeah, well, what's the best moment to? But I think now, if you starting to drink the 2012 Grand Cru, it's starting to be perfect now. After 5-6 years, it's perfect. I think I drink Les Clos 17. It's perfect. It's just starting 17. It's really 12 now. I think it's right timing. The Grand Cru 5-6 years. But after it's more personal taste. I'm not going to say you have to, like journalists say, oh, you have to drink after 11 years, not 12, but after 11 years. No, Grand Cru, whatever the vintage, if you store the wine in good condition, it needs 3-4 years, even if it's a warm vintage with low acidity. 3-4 years, whatever the vintage, and after it's personal taste.
It's a personal perception to, I mean, I know a lot of British that I know years. Christian, you drink your wine too young, you should wait 20 years, 25 years. Bullshit, not anymore. Maybe 20 years ago, no. Let's say between 5 and 50 years, depending on the vintage. That's all. And after that, myself, I like freshness, flower, elegance. Exactly. I think it's between 5 and 10. I have some 20, 30 years old in my personal cellar. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not what I'm looking for. But I said, and we still have our own opinion, still.
After it's sure you could keep, if you bought 3 bottles or 4 bottles, you could keep 1 bottle for the experience of drinking one after 20, 25 years. That's sure. That's why we still have some, because it's always something special. But the top, I think most of the time you have to drink the wine on the apogee and 5, 10 years.
And the other half of the question, outside of Chablis, what is the what would you be drinking right now? What is?
Chablis is the best. Chablis, you know why? Chablis is the capital.
Say again?
Chablis is the best. Chablis is the capital of Chablis. Come on, the rest. No, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't mind to have Chassagne or Puligny, from.
Say, I think you're just over the mic. If you.
No, I don't mind to have a Chassagne Moreau for white, and
But I'm a little bit more open than my father because trust me, he drink champagne or Chablis most of the time.
Yeah.
Champagne, Paul Roger, or Drapier.
They don't say Paul Roger.
I don't care. I've been traveling with Christian Paul Roger in the US for so many years, and Gérard Jaboulet, doing the great Jaboulet with and I love those wines. I love champagne and Chablis. No, let's be honest. Doesn't matter where it comes from. When it's good, I like it. In the US, I love the red.
Yeah.
The whites are getting a little more lighter, more elegant and this. But I have some Cabernet Sauvignon from many domains in Napa, which are absolutely fabulous. It's not a problem. When it's good, no, I'm not I'm not blind. Okay?
We have another question from Ricardo, which is asking commercially, what are the most important markets for your wine, and how do you think your wine should be prepared before serving?
But for the market, but in general, we like I said, we're still exporting 90%. So it's very mostly in 44 different countries. And our major country, it's US. It's still US because we have a special relationship with our US importer. We have the same since 1939. It's crazy. It's very strong relationship with Frederick Weinman. They are based in New York. It's still our biggest market. After we spray the maximum we could. After Australia is a big market, very big market for us. And after UK, of course, with you. And after we spray the maximum. Why? Because when you look back 10 years ago, we really focused in 5-6 countries. But when you see what all the problem we had for the last 3 months all over the world, it was better to spray the maximum. I think it's better like that.
Yeah, sure.
And what was the rest of the
serving
question?
in restaurants. How would you recommend serving?
But now, sure, the small problem of restaurants that nobody stores the wine now. That's a problem, especially for the Grand Cru. It's quite rare to find Grand Cru 3-4 years in a restaurant. People have small stock, and it's like us. Nobody is banker, so it's hard to keep the wine. So if you now, for example, you pour a restaurant, you pour the 2016 or 17 Grand Crus, I think it's perfect to decant it just before serving. You don't need to decant 1 hour before, like a good Bordeaux, or 2 hours. So just beside you taste it to see if it's all right, and if it's all right, you just decant it, and it will wake up just 20 minutes before. It's perfect. I think for the Grand Cru now. After for a Chablis or a Vaillon, you don't need it. Or just open the bottle 10 minutes before. That's it.
Have a cheeky glass of stuff and let it breathe. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. Taking us out of London, essentially. Really, thank you so much.
Thank you
Very much.
to the vineyard as well. It was really lovely touch. Yeah.
Thank you, and let's hope that in the next 2 or 3 months you should be able to come
All the restaurants have to reopen.
and come and see us also. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone is so, we very welcome. It'd be wonderful to come and say hello to you. And thank you so much for your time today, because we appreciate how busy you are.
And also the best to our best wish, and stay safe to the Tormanhan team.
Yep.
Merci beaucoup.
Bye.
À bientôt.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Ciao.
Bye. Thank you.